L.A. Noire is a dark and violent crime thriller set against the backdrop of 1940s Los Angeles. Amid the post-war boom of Hollywood's golden age, newly minted officer Cole Phelps embarks on a desperate search for truth in a city where everyone has something to hide. And during that search, we saw 5 different types of cases from patrol, traffic, homicide, vice, and arson. But I'm here to talk to you about the 2 desks that were cut from the final game: Bunco and Burglary. Burglary and Bunco/Fraud are departments in the LAPD. Bunco is mentioned during Vice case The Setup, as they investigated and listed leads on bookmakers for Phelps and Earle. Bunco, or Fraud, is located at Wilshire Police Station. Burglary, along with Bunco, were cut from the final game. Cole Phelps worked this desk sometime between the traffic desk and homicide desk, from comments made by Captain James Donnelly when Cole first starts working the homicide desk.
Further to your request, Bunco Fraud has 3 known bookmakers operating out of storefronts in the Hollywood area: Thrifty Liquor, 6106 Santa Monica, the Examiner Drugstore, and a Max Spirits at 1658 North Cherokee.
Burglary is the entry into a building illegally with intent to commit a crime, including theft. Fraud is the wrongful or criminal deception intended to result in financial or personal gain. Types of fraud include falsifying documents, counterfeiting, and identity theft. 6 months have passed since the final mission of the traffic desk. Cole Phelps has just been promoted to the homicide desk. During the 6-month gap is when the burglary and Bunco cases would have occurred.
And the chief has seen fit to promote Cole Phelps from burglary to the homicide desk. Stand up, Phelps. Take a chair. You're in the major leagues now, Sonny. Rusty Galloway, a fine lawman of the old school, will be taking you under his wing.
Now that I've set the tone, let's talk about the burglary desk and our partner, Harold Caldwell.
Bearing all the signs of the werewolf. Get out to the scene, lads.
Harry, you got a minute?
Nothing is known about Caldwell's life before joining the LAPD. Among his investigations, Caldwell was assigned to investigate the SS Coolidge robbery. Caldwell concluded that the robbery was an inside job and that the perpetrators were either dock workers or passengers on the ship. However, even after 6 months of investigation, Caldwell was unable to track down any of the stolen supplies or substantially narrow down the possible suspects. The Vice case, Manifest Destiny, is the only time in the main story where Caldwell is relevant. Cole and his current partner, Roy Earle, went to investigate a shooting at the 111 Club. The club's owner, Eddie McGoldrick, fought alongside Cole in the Marines. Inside the club, Cole found items that had been stolen from the SS Coolidge, such as cigarettes and BAR rifles, and quickly realized that his old unit was responsible for the robbery. Phelps later spoke to Caldwell at the Hollywood Police Station for information on the heist. Caldwell assisted Phelps and Earle in the investigation, showing them the ship manifest listing of all the stolen goods and the list of passengers that were on board when the goods were stolen. Caldwell later proceeded to the club to inspect the stolen supplies and solve the case. When asking Roy Earle for assistance while inside the station, he'll mention that Caldwell and Phelps used to work together.
Looks like whoever stole the dope is getting muscled.
By whom?
Dragner or Cohen.
Caldwell also appears during the Vice street crime Against the Odds. Phelps meets Caldwell in front of a bookmaker's where he briefs Phelps of the situation. Caldwell had received a tip that a bagman named Rampley was going into the bookmaker's to collect money that he won in a fixed horse race. Caldwell stated that he didn't care much about Rampley, but hoped that he could lead the detectives back to his boss. He asked Phelps to tail Rampley back to his boss, which Phelps did successfully. However, they both soon discovered and opened fire on Phelps, and he killed both of them in the ensuing gunfight. Very little time is spent on Caldwell's character, though it is presumed that him and Phelps worked well during their collaboration in Burglary and consider each other decent friends.
Give me $1,000 on Cavalcade the 5th.
Caldwell is likely to be a generally well-natured and honest policeman. Phelps is the only person heard referring to him as Harry, and when the talk command is used on him, he will say that he and Phelps have catching up to do. Besides the Street and Vice case, Harold appears 3 separate times as a background character. His last appearance is in the first cutscene of the Arson desk.
Cole Phelps joins the Arson squad today.
LA Noire is still an awesome game and one of my personal favorites, with or without the burglary or bunco/fraud desks and cases. I'd assume just like the other 5 desks, it would have 4 to 6 case files. The cases would probably range from anything such as identity theft, mail fraud, forged documents, counterfeit cash, and other counterfeit items, and definitely a burglary mission or 2.
Do we have an understanding?
Yes, sir.
Cap, we don't want a fucking rat like Phelps, can it, Tilden?
It would have been interesting to see the cases and scenarios, since most burglaries are done by somebody the victim knows instead of random acts of violence by strangers. And I would have equally enjoyed busting a counterfeit ring or even stopping forgeries and identity theft. But either way, LA Noire is still a shining example of how a police and detective style game should be made. 10 out of 10. Tell me what you think in the comments. What do you think about the burglary and Bunco desk? And did Rockstar Games make the right choice cutting it from the final release? That's all I have for you in this one. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Like the video if you want to. Check out the channel if you feel like. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.